As we all know, we all are experiencing the changes, the difficulties, but as well the opportunities, yes. And in this sense is that Hecho por Nosotros and Animaná has been working in an open space of dialogue, of collaboration in order to make this journey happen, in order to experience what is sustainability, what is circularity, what means to make collaboration work. So I feel today so grateful to each of you, to all the community of Hecho por Nosotros, students, professionals, leaders, artisans, producers of natural fibers, policymakers, academics around the world that came on board all these 15 years, letting us create this alive space. And today we have another opportunity to be all together in order to transit a new stage. So my invitation is to open our hearts in order to transcend our way of thinking, our roles, our different hats that we use every day, in order to let us go through this process of collaboration, yes, of integration.
So whenever you want, you can start, So if someone else joins, it's okay. There I see Hector. Yeah, perfect. Go ahead, guys.
So I can start. Hello, everybody. I'm Bárbara. I'm from Brazil. I'm a lawyer. I'm a lawyer from Brazil, but now I'm living in France. So I'm sorry for the English because sometimes I can make a mess with the French now. It's a little confusing with me, but so if it's good, if you can understand me, okay. So we are presenting one thing that for me is very, very personal because I want you to discover by myself how I can be happy for myself. So it includes a lot of things, also includes how we are consumers, how I consume the things, how I will buy those things, and where come from those things that I can consume. So this matter for me, it's very important. And I think the digital transformation has a big, huge hold in this situation because now we are connected. I'm here in France. Natalia is in Argentina. Rafael is in Brazil. So I think it is the most important tool that we have to create some new models for us. So this is our team. I think I leave Rafael present herself also.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rafael. I'm from Brazil. I'm a lawyer too, and I'm a researcher of affairs like justice and public interest. And I a good reader, I have too many interests in philosophy. And this question, if we gonna take, it's so important to make our happiness and distribute the uh, natural resources to us, develop riches to enjoy the world.
So the first question that we propose is what role do digital platforms play in shaping consumers' behaviors and perceptions of happiness? So first of everything, I have to give the point of view because for me, fashion and the way we dress represents also the language, how we can communicate ourselves. And this is one thing that's not new. This is one thing that we can see in all cultures, in all the world. So language is not how we speak, but also is how we dress, how we can see, how we want to be seen in the world, and how we put ourselves. So if I'm dressing like that, everybody will interpret it myself and will think something about myself, about me, because how I'm dressing. So I'm transmitting something when I'm dressed like this, when I use my glass, when I use this or that, when I stay as I want. So for me, it's a language. It's how we communicate, and we have this in many cultures. I give some examples. Rafael will give some examples for us. Very interesting, and I let Rafael speak for us.
Yeah, a great example we can give is the Indians, chef Indians. And there, I imagine we can think better in this question. Here in Brazil, in some tribes, we call them pajé, and the Indians uses accessories to represent ourselves. So, and we can see in that mouth the piercing, and in our head the feathers and the necklace, all set of dressed express authority of that man, and is happen in our society. How you dress it is the form of power. Other example is in the Middle Age. When I look in this image, this shade of red represent aristocracy and the church, the power of the demands of this age. And for us, in this moment, the internet make this more fastful and instantaneous. Social media become now the way we create models to understand who we are, who we want to be seen, and how happiness needs. You need understand too, to observe what digital platforms are instruments to change our mindset, the mindset of the customers by marketing, explore the use of mental triggers to influence the way we see the world and our beliefs and behaviors. This is a form of operation in capitalism system. If can make people believe we are sad and they will can give happiness if they are give me money, so I can centralize resources and obligate more people to make these people's keeping belief if they said, and I can be happy when give me money. This is a great point.
So for us, for this point of view, now we are living in a society that it's like how we appear becomes more important than how we actually are. So that's the huge part of us now. I think social media has a huge part in that, of course. And for me, as a person, I'm always looking for to understand how to say no, how to be happy with sufficiency, how to be a good consumer, because I always read these themes by the perspective for the enterprises, for the producer, but I'm seeing this as a consumer. I'm seeing this, I'm looking this for as an individual. I want to understand how us as individuals, how we can change, because we have the change that comes from the perspective, the business perspective, but we also have to see how we can change ourselves. And for me, it it starts redefining how we are happening, how we understand our ways of life, how we see each other as a society. So for me, that's it. I think we're gonna ask the second question. The question number 2 is how we can achieve one collective thought of sufficiency regarding individuals and their consumption habits. For me, this question, I don't have the answer yet. Truly, I want to, but I don't have. I maybe, who knows, someday. But for now, I think we have a little. I think we have a perspective, but achieve one collective thought of sufficiency is a little dream by now for me. I will let Rafael tell more about his opinion about that, but I think it's difficult for us to make this collective thought, this unified collective thought of sufficiency.
I agree with you, Barbara. You make me think about the importance of spring, the idea that the belief is built by the industry and the habits of deriving that make bad to the population. And we exist other farmers to steer the consumer relations and ways to behavior to not centralize the demand. When I centralize the demand, this is a bigger problem because we centralize the power, and the centralization of the power going us to the oppression of the people.
So I think it's important to say about the subject of sufficiency because it have important to me as a person, as a consumer. Why? Because when we saw that we need to understand what is sufficient for us as a consumer, so now we have to say no more than yes many times because we always have this the cell phone saying to us bye 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 bye. So for us to understand this sufficiency, it's I think it's one way to evolve ourselves to create more, to implement our lives with this I think it's this freedom because it's a freedom because when we understand your sufficiency, you become better. You start to understand, okay, I don't need this. I really don't need this. So that's the point. But I don't think it's easy to be a collective thought. I don't think it's for now it's possible, but it's a dream. So for the next question, how we can implement models to be used to foster community engagement and education around sustainable fashion practice. So I think Rafael will give us a little about his opinion now.
Yeah, in that point, I remember one reels I see other day and Instagram, and one chef showed to a group of kids how to make nuggets, and during whole process, the kids were disgusted by that. And when the food is prepared, he asked, "Who like to eat this?" Imagine their deny, and but on the contrary, they should excited. We. This is a situation, comical situation. But this show is the necessity of develop digital tools which facilitate the communication to improve a local and decentralized production and marketing to lower costs and better quality. Just talk and just spread the information, it's not sufficient. We need show to the people which has better farms to live, to consume, and to produce.
So I think it's the idea that comes with the nugget image. That's because I have this feeling that when I bought something, I see only the price tag, but as a consumer, normally we don't see the cost that comes from the environmental cost that comes from. So it's easier to buy because we don't see. So that's the question for me as a consumer. I see all the process, the nuggets. It's horrible, but I eat it. So that's the same. I know that's a problem. I know that when I go to some stores to buy some clothes, I know there is a problem. But in the same time, I really don't care. I don't know what happened with us as a society because we acting like this. We ignore. We simply don't care. So that's for me. That's the problem in terms of how we can achieve a collective thought. So for conclusion, I will let Rafael conclude his thoughts, and then I will.
Knowledge we can save us, and how much more people know how the capitalist works and about yourself like woman and how to make money without exploration of surplus value. More decentralized is the economy, and increasing the qualities of the service products and reducing the costs and levels of humanity dignity violations. Because the central point is that surplus values go to one people, and this is in all economic chain. And of the point of the view of the centralizer, it's okay. It's the cost for him, it's less. But by the point of view of population, the cost is more. Is this?
I will end my session with this thought from Bauman. I think it's very interesting because we are looking as a human, we're always looking for happiness, and happiness have a huge relation and how we consume things. Now we need to create models, new models to understand what happiness is for us, because we need to understand how the world will actually work better with this thought of sufficiency. We need sufficiency to live better. We need sufficiency to improve our nature preservation. So this is one subject that comes from us to the world. And for me, happiness is very, very connected by this, because that's what we are all of us looking for in this life. We are looking for to be happy. So we create these models of happiness. Social media has a huge part in how we see, how we perceive happiness now. So for change this, we are changing also the perspective of the protection of the nature. We are changing how we see the sufficiency. We are changing how we, as a consumer, as a consumers, we buy, we act. So this for me is important. I hope that everybody can understand that this is a point of view it's personal. So for me, it's special. It's a growing thought. So I think everybody understand. So this is
Well, Bárbara, Rafael, it's quite an interesting discussion. It was really, really interesting to hear you both. I think some of the audience left because I don't know how much time we have left. But yeah, I would like just to make a comment. I think, yes, we have a really important responsibility, not only as human beings, but also as consumers. We need to demand and to be more exigent and demanding to the brands and the enterprises in general to show more transparency of the processes of the industry, so we can decide where to buy and how, and to know the information about what is being done behind the processes. Sorry, yeah, okay. So yeah, I think it's really interesting, but we have all the responsibility, you know. Also, of the topic about the collective thought of sufficiency, I think we need to break some already
Yes.
existing structures and rebuild them, so we can start thinking of happiness and sufficiency in new ways. It's
Yes.
quite philosophical, you know, and anthropological.
Yes, a little.
Yeah, but it's really interesting.
I think it's it's an important thought to think in this how we see happiness, how we perceive happiness, because I think it's really have a huge impact on
Yeah.
how you consume. I think.
Yeah, totally. And fast fashion, it makes us believe we need to buy everything to be sufficient, and marketing and everything.
Yeah.
We're constantly attacked. Yeah, it's quite difficult to be different in this kind of society, you know.
Yeah.
So if you like, we can go back to the main panel. I don't know if the other labs have already finished, but if not, we can join another one. Feel free to move, or if you have to leave, that's okay also.
I have to leave also because
Okay,
here it's late.
It's quite late. Yeah, it might.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It's okay, Bárbara. So
Hector didn't speak
no,
nothing.
he's there without the camera.
Okay.
But I think, yeah, he's there. He showed a finger. So you can leave. There's no problem. Thank you very, very much to both of
Okay,
you. It
Natalia,
was
thank you very much.
really interesting, all the topic and the discussion.
So see
Thank
you.
you,
Bye.
Natalia.
Oh.
Thank you, Bárbara. And I need to go to France someday, and to Argentina também, né?
Yeah.
to visit you both you two.
Yeah, of course. We have to keep in contact.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, guys,
Bye,
really,
Natalia.
really nice. Bye.